Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Kalika and you're going to be a craftier person after watching this video. I'm not allowed to clean if a customer is nearby? Game on. For some backstory, I work in a place where no kids are allowed. It's essentially an adult gaming experience. These places usually are owned by a large group of people usually related, and I can't specify what kind of place I work at since it's against my policy and I'm paranoid. I clean up after messes. I don't mind it. I get paid good money to sweep up popcorn, clean toilets and dump ashtrays. Where I live, it's a good chunk of change to bring home just to clean. A few weeks ago, I was sweeping the floor as I had already cleaned most everything. I have one headphone in, as is allowed by the company, and just focusing on my job. I am hard of hearing, so I put the headphone in the ear that barely works anyway. I can still hear the music somewhat and still listen if someone is talking to me, so I've never had a problem before. While sweeping, I admit the first time I was a little close to the customer. "Ma'am, don't sweep near my feet, I don't like that." Me in my best customer service voice. "I'm so sorry, I'll work on keeping my distance next time." She doesn't reply, so I just assume she's very into her game. I start going around the other side and sweep up a big pile of ash another customer left, just minding my business and ready for my first break already. Note, this time if she tried to kick out or point her toes, she wouldn't even be able to brush the broom even a little, which she did try to do. "I just told you not to do that." "I'm so sorry, I thought I was far enough away this time." "You lazy workers make me so damn mad." I'm in a bit of shock, as I've never had a customer talk to me this way in my current position. I actually get called over to clean up while a customer is at a game because they think it brings them luck. I don't want to rock the boat anymore, so I just say sorry again and leave it be. I make my way to the other side of the building and start cleaning there. I always think it's cute when some people see me sweeping and they raise their feet to let me get under them. It reminds me of when my mum used to vacuum and we would raise our feet so she could get under us. I consider it very polite that they do this. After doing my rounds and cleaning, I keep a smile on my face as there are a lot of customers on this day and they find me most approachable as I am one of the only females on the floor. It's very normal for them to search out one of us to help them with stuff. Why they do this, I have no idea. The upset customer sees me continue sweeping and smiling and it drives her insane. I hear her literally yelling at the store manager for a few minutes and I get called over after the customer storms out. "I just had a complaint that you were sweeping too close to a customer. We're going to pull camera footage and most likely give you a point." I admit I was close the first time, but I can even show you exactly where I was the second time. I wasn't even close enough to touch. Well, she's married to a wealthy man here and they own several businesses and she has family on the council. At this point, the store manager is looking at me like I should know who this woman is. I'm new to the area and don't know many of the members from around where I work, but I also know this is a bad sign. Others have been fired for less for upsetting a council member's family member. The system is very corrupt to be honest, but there's nothing anyone can do. "From now on, you don't clean near any customers at all. I'll draw up your point sheet and get started on it for you to sign." I am livid at this point, but just nod and go to clean the bathrooms. I have never received a point or a customer complaint in the 5 months I've been working there, and now suddenly my job is in jeopardy for doing my job. After the footage is reviewed, they admit I wasn't too close, but point me enough that I have to really watch my back or I will get fired because your voice was super condescending. Compliance mode activated. I required a copy of my write-up as it has the exact reasons why I was pointed and I can cover my ass. There's even a comment section where my manager can write off what they have told me to do to fix my behaviour. She added that I forced overtime by clocking in early and late and said, she just stands there and time steals without working those hours. I stop coming in early and start refusing to stay late. She also states I'm going out of my job description and to no longer do anything that isn't specified in the handbook for my job. I circle this part heavily. While it's not in my job description to help customers or get them refreshments, I do it anyway. Now, I have a few days where I'm the only cleaning person at work because we're a small business. It's not bad, and I love those days as they go by faster. These days are also some of the days we are packed with customers. I'm honestly surprised this only took a few weeks before they tried to point me again. Because of where the gaming machines are set up, there is long stretches of the floor I am no longer allowed to touch. There are trash cans near a few of the most popular games, so I can't even change the trash. It doesn't take long for ashtrays and trash to overflow. The floor is absolutely covered in popcorn, food, ash, soda spills, and cigarettes. Per my store manager, I can't touch any of it because it's near a customer at all times. I keep myself busy throughout this time doing things I normally don't have time for. I'm wiping walls down, cleaning every single window, scrubbing the floorboards, and even managed to get a few vents and get the dust out of them. Not once was I near a customer. They start to complain as the other employees that are supposed to get them popcorn and soda while they game don't do rounds on the floor as often as my job allows me to. Since I'm not allowed to clean near the customers, I have no reason to go near them, and I don't help out. Now, I let my compliance slide for a little bit when it comes to the elderly customers that can't get around so much. A few of the ones that know I'm hard of hearing will even sign to me across the store to get my attention, and I go over to help, and a few of them have asked me why I'm acting so weird. Little did I know, most of them had family on the council as well. One of the women who's there every day even laughs and tells me she would do exactly what I'm doing. At the end of the week, I'm called in by one of the best managers we have. He's just an hourly manager, so he doesn't have a stick up his rear. He just tells me to be careful and cover my ass. The second week rolls around, and I'm running out of extra cleaning to do. Everything is very dusted down every day. The walls are spotless, windows clean, and the bathrooms are just perfect. I'm honestly proud of what I've achieved in this time. The morning cleaning crew has been complaining day in and day out. Even though they show up 3 hours before opening, cleaning the filthy store in the morning isn't really in the time allotted for them. The grass starts to get overgrown, the lot is filthy, the break room is a mess, and the floor is starting to stain from spills being left all night long. One of the daytime cleaning supervisors asked me what's wrong because my normally spotless floor is so filthy in the morning. But once I explain what has happened, he is more upset I'm one shot from being fired more than anything else. My job isn't easy, but I get paid good, so I don't call in and show up early to help the morning guys out a lot because they have a lot more to do than I do. Finally comes the day my store manager shows back up and she's pissed. I'm cleaning the Coke machine when she pulls me into the office to give me another write-up. It's not enough to fire me. In fact, it's half a point away from me being fired. She had my direct manager all the way up from main office and the big boss over all of us in the room with her. I let them go through their spiel about how disappointed they are in me and how my job is very easy to do. They can't believe I've been wasting my time on useless cleaning. Apparently it's my fault a few of the gaming machines are down for repairs as I didn't clean up the soda spills fast enough and the liquid got directly in the machine. So many customers complained because they didn't have someone they could call to cater to them. I got yelled at for not serving excellent customer service to them. The big boss even states the fact he wants me fired right now, but my direct manager has saved my ass. He reminds me that we live in an at-will state and I can be fired for farting the wrong way at this point. After they're done shredding me to pieces and I'm damn near in tears, I whip out the original point sheet and slide it to them. I open my handbook and turn to my job description page and slide that over as well. I quietly say that per the handbook, I'm not allowed to hand customers anything because I have the wrong job code for it. I've just been doing what I've been told and staying away from customers. They can even check the cameras. They get quiet. My direct manager gets pissed. He tells me to take the day off and that I'll get paid for it. Unfortunately for them, it's a day I work by myself. Fortunately for me, it's before my days off, so I get 3 days off in a row. When I get back, I'm told my points have been wiped and I'm back to 0. I'm supposed to disregard any write-ups I've received and do what I normally do. I essentially get told that I have free rein on the floor to clean it how I see fit. While I have been happy at the result of my actions, I feel bad that my store manager was demoted to hourly. I unfortunately see her a lot more now, and she pointedly takes pictures of messes before I can get to them. I'm already planning on putting in my 2 weeks, as an old boss offered me my job back, plus my original raises. It's a $1 pay cut, but I'll be the acting manager a lot of the time, and to me, that's worth it. My direct manager offered me a raise to keep me, but I no longer want to work somewhere so toxic. I know I'm lucky that I can find jobs fast, but I'm gonna miss the sweet paycheck and benefits. This happens in businesses quite a lot, where a worker will move out of their job description for the better, going above and beyond to give everyone involved a good customer service, and then somewhere down the line it just becomes expected of them instead of seeing it as a kind and admirable thing to do. This person just went back to doing her job description and nearly got fired for it. I hope she gets treated better at her old job and is much happier. I can't call in sick? Okay. I worked at Chipotle some time ago. For anyone who knows, Chipotle is really strict about contamination and they're also perpetually understaffed. There was a period of time when my health deteriorated quite a bit due to some other issues, so I got sick often. It was also cold and flu season and finals for students finishing their first semester, so I can understand how hellish it can be when nobody can come to work, and we had an issue of some people calling in sick when they were not. I had an early morning shift and tried to call in early enough so that management could work around me not being there, but early mornings usually mean you'd be coming in at the same time as the managers do, so nobody was there to pick up. I call a bit closer to the start of my shift and tell the shift manager that I'm sick and I cannot make it to work. It's like 7 or 8 AM at this point, and he asks me, "Do you have a doctor's note?" There is no doctor's note. I had just woken up and obviously had not gone to the doctor, but I definitely had a really bad cold. Not to mention, nobody goes to the doctor for a cold. The shift manager asked me for my symptoms. I figured telling him cold and flu symptoms is pretty self-explanatory. Coughing, headache, runny nose, etc. and possibly a fever. He asked my temperature. I tell him I haven't even checked it yet as I had just woken up. I understand asking someone if they have a fever since it tells if you're contagious, but I also just didn't want to be coughing in people's food all the time. The shift manager didn't believe me and tells me to either show up to work or face being written up. I shrug and just tell him, "Oh, okay," and head over there. Before entering the kitchen area, Chipotle workers must do a wellness check where your manager asks you if you've been sick in the last few days, had any signs of foodborne illness, etc., and then you sign a paper before being allowed in. I go to do this, and the shift manager passes me the handbook. It's open to the page about sick employees. "Look at the symptoms, and if you have any of these, you can't come in," he tells me. I take a look, and of course, they're there. Before I can even go back to tell him, the general manager shows up to start his shift and says, "Good morning, OP. Oh, wow. You look horrible. Why are you here? You can't be here. You can get everyone sick." It's part of our policy to not show up to work sick. We've had people remanded for doing so. I got sent back home and didn't get in trouble, as I did manage to tell the general manager that I was told to come in regardless of calling in sick. I ended up quitting. I never understand managers like this. Yes, I'm sure it's a pain in the ass if employees are calling in sick when they're not, but you shouldn't be able to force them to come in or threaten them with being written up. The general manager had the right idea. I had a manager like that before and he was amazing because he actually cared about his staff. Okay, so that's all for r/MaliciousCompliance. I really hope you did enjoy it. As always, if you do want to see more content like this, then please do subscribe. My Twitter, Discord, and Patreon links are in the description, and any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!